So of course that sales is a huge one. Even if you go before we call it IMC, when we used to call it promotion, there was big four channels of the IMC mix in the old days. That was advertising, sales promotion, what we saw the other day, personal selling, and PR. That was all. Nothing else. Then database and direct marketing came, and then of course all the digital marketing world. Make sense? But those were the four initial ones. So sales always have been there, in theory, again, because it's strong. And not just that, when you're designing a company strategy, one of the first decisions is, are you going to be more focused on sales or in more massive communications? I'm going to talk about advertising as an example, but it can be any type of massive communication, PR or whatever. Make sense? So that's what we're saying here. So we say that companies have to decide in their IMC strategy first, if they're going to be more focused on sales or more focused on any type of mass market or let's say advertising. This is what I'm saying? Now, in which cases you're going to be more sales, in which cases you're going to be more advertising. That's what we're asking. Now, as a general rule, again, this is going to depend a lot because it's your business model, basically. As a general rule, you will use sales when you need a more customized message for each of the customers, when you don't have as many customers as when you need advertising. That will be the two main ones. And then you have other like timing, speed, credibility of the message. So let me focus on customization first and the number of. A company has Warren Caterpillar that we are working with. Warren Caterpillar need to go to, I don't know how many customer clients they have here. Anybody knows? 1,000, 2,000, a million? It's like a million for sure. But compare the number of clients that Warren Caterpillar have versus the number of clients that Bama Bags have. Bama Bags have a greater number of individual clients, doesn't it? However, each customer of Bama Bags, how much going to spend in average? A couple of bucks. A customer of Warren Caterpillar, how much going to spend in average? Sometimes near $1 million, or at least $100,000, doesn't it? Make sense what I'm saying? So of course, that a company as Warren Cat need to have a specific conversation to each customer. That's why we will prefer sales. Bama Bags, or let's say something even more extreme as Coca-Cola, will go with advertising because as you have so many clients, you cannot customize the message for each one. Now, of course, when you put digital in the mix, that changes a little bit because you're going to customize, but you're going to massive customize anyway. Make sense? So this is still massive. Again, in sales, you use it in those cases. And I remember the example of Caterpillar because I did work with the Caterpillar dealer in Chile, I think I told you. And one of the discussions that they had at a time, for example, is do we need to create advertising on cable TV? And finally they did it as something else. But of course, always their main effort is in sales. In a country like Chile, where mining is issue, in that case, most of their sales were around $1 million. And I don't know, 1,000 clients, no more than that, whatever. Makes sense what I'm saying? So of course that they want to go visit each of them directly. That's what we're talking about here. So that's, I think, is an important thing to consider. When you use advertising, again, there is a massive customer base. Your message need to be exactly the same for everybody, like Coca-Cola, doesn't it? So customization is not important. And how reach and frequency are the things that you need. So traditional advertising, in other words. Another thing that's going to be important here, is going to be fast from a traditional point of view, is the type of information that both traditional marketing department and traditional sales department will manage. So marketing gonna give inputs about the product, the market, positioning, packaging, advertising, any type of other promotion that we have. Sales gonna give you the real day-to-day data, doesn't it? Market intelligence plans, account management, how the distribution is going, etc., etc. And of course, between both of them, we're gonna have to work together in the target, in the forecast, etc., etc. Sales promotion, sales promotion, I should say, sales promotion. That's fine. However, and that's kind of easy and that's kind of straight. However, one of the things that I add here come from HubSpot. And again, I saw it a couple of years ago in one company that were using it. That was interesting. I thought that that's kind of the thing that we need to discuss here more than, again, sales technique that you're going to see on other classes. And it's what they call, I don't like too much of a name to be honest, smart sales or S-sales. So smart marketing or S-marketing. And basically it's the conjunction between sales and marketing or the lineation. They did a research in HubSpot that I think is interesting. They said that 87% of the companies, sales and marketing, use negative terms to describe each other. Make sense? So the marketing department talk bad things, that's how we can say it, about the sales department to say about bad things about the marketing. What type of bad things? Why do you think this happened before we go and move forward? Why do you think marketing and sales don't talk? What do you think they say from the other? Yes?
Wait, did you say what do they say to each other? Is it like an example like between Sprint and Verizon because they do negative campaigning with each other? So one, do you know what I mean? Like a lot, like I have Verizon and I know Sprint does a lot of those negative campaigns targeted towards Verizon to get customers to switch to Sprint.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
But the question is inside of the same company, why marketing will not get along with sales?
Probably because they think they're different with they're just different topics and.
Okay, they're
one thinks they're better than the
ideas
other.
of what their role in the company.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Somebody else, yes.
Maybe because marketing and sales goes hand in hand. So if the marketing team is not doing their job, they're not going to get as much sales. So they kind of.
That's true. They go hand. They should go hand in hand. And I guess that's the problem. Just one more.
I think sometimes sales departments may blame.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were to. I think sometimes sales departments may blame marketing departments for not putting out enough material or enough good material to help their sales figures. So whenever their sales fall short, it's easy to blame the marketing department for not.
Yeah, it's not my fault that we did not read the objective is there. And moreover, because related with that, their objective, even though they should be similar, most of the time they're not the same. So if I'm the marketing VP, I will be measured most of the time by the brand equity that I generate, does it? And do you most of the time going to generate brand equity in the long term, not in the short term? Make sense? If I'm the VP of sales, I'm going to be measured by, do you sell or not this quarter? That's it. I get a. I don't care about my long-term sales. Well, I do. I should care, but you know what I mean. That's not is. Did I reach the objective sales that I have? So most of the time, sales gonna say that marketing spend too much money on advertising, for example, that they could expand directly on the sales. The second point of discussion, but this is one of the things that we're going to have to merge now, is the sales lead. What do we really mean with a qualified lead? So you have, so to put you examples again, 65 leads on Facebook that you're creating for the event. How many of those 65 are qualified leads? How many of them are not? Well, that's 65 is easy because it's 65. If the question is 1,000, that's going to be a problem. Now, that's I don't want to go too much ahead. Let me go far a little bit. So HubSpot come up with this term that they sell to the companies that, again, I think this is a smart way to do it. And they say that HubSpot can help you with that. That could be true or not. But basically it's what we call S marketing and it's smart marketing. And they say that, but basically what they say that the companies that do align sales with marketing do have a 20% annual growth higher than the ones that doesn't align those departments. Make sense? So that's what we're saying. So we have, this is also from HubSpot, all this is from HubSpot. Kind of, what are the steps to align sales with your rest of the marketing message? So the first thing is say, well, let's speak the same language. And here, because it HubSpot, they're gonna focus more on the leads. I should add here that of course, as we were saying, the message always have to be aligned, okay? But let's focus here on what they have here. So first is speak the same language in terms of how do we define the sales funnel? Because yes, believe it or not, sometimes they have a different sales funnel design. And second, how do we define a quality lead? Make sense? Now, before I continue, you can explain me what a sales funnel is. I have said this before, but or anybody can tell me what should be or how it is the sales funnel of your project.
Like when I was doing insurance, we'd be looking for leads, either from realtors or loan officers, for potential clients, and then we would reach out and then go from there. Or you can get sales leads from Facebook generating different types of promotions and
That's a
stuff.
great example. So what you're saying is that in what is insurance company?
What insurance company?
No, it was insurance company. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that in particular insurance company, you have social media leads. You have. Sorry, I have a problem with this shoulder and I always forget. You have what else you say? From realtors, banks, or loan generators. Doesn't it? It's not bank, but you understand it. I hear you have referrals.
Referrals.
Okay, but let's let that work. Doesn't so we have 4 sources of income leads, doesn't it? So that will become a lead. Most of the time, that means that the salesperson will have to contact them, doesn't it? So that will become a contact or a prospect, depending on the company they're gonna call it different way, doesn't it? And then will be a sale. You're gonna close. That's it. Now, of course, I should break that down, match that, but you understand the idea. So what you're gonna measure is, in sales, what you do is you measure the conversion from one stage to another, and how many people churn, basically don't go to the other stage. So that's kind of the metrics that you have. One of the biggest problems that marketing with sales have, other than the ones that we have discussed, is actually how they define, and that's why they say, this sales funnel. So sometimes marketing gonna work with one sales funnel that's gonna finish in the lead. Make sense? Why? Because, for example, we have a web page. The web page wanna bring people. That from that web page, there's gonna be a conversion of people actually staying on the web page, and then it's gonna be a conversion of people actually filling out our form. Many marketing department think that's my job at the end, and now I send these to sales to start a different sales funnel. Make sense? So what we're saying here is that first we need to be sure that the sales funnel that both have converts in some way. Make sense? But second, if from here some of these are sales leads, some of these are marketing leads actually. Make sense? So social media is a marketing lead. What that means that came from a marketing channel. Referral, I guess, is a sales lead. So the salesperson that was selling to a close got 2 or 3 referrals directly from sales. Make sense? From the sale. Now, the problem that I was saying that marketing sometimes, sales sometimes have poor marketing, that let's say, and this is what we were discussing, if I have 60 leads from a social media point, I'm not sure that those 60 leads actually are on target. So if I take this and sell it, think that that's my job, just take a lead and send it to sales, and sales start calling, and just 2% of them actually have the right phone, or 2% of them actually are on target, or actually have the money to buy whatever I'm selling, they're gonna then come back to marketing and say your sale leads are bull, you know what? No? That's gonna and that's a big part of this conflict. No? So what HubSpot are saying here, they give us an example here. Don't take it so exactly. It's kind of an idea, no? They say, well, divide the funnel. Don't have two funnels. Divide the funnel in two. We're going to have an owned marketing, a part of it that's going to be owned by marketing, and a part of owned by sales. But then define what a marketing qualified lead will be, and what a sales qualified lead will be. Make sense? That means, from a marketing perspective, talking to sales, what will be the filter to transform a general lead into something that we actually can give to sales? They're going to do a second filter, but so they can transform in an actual sales lead. Not every just point in the data set. Make sense? And of course, again, you're going to have some of those that are going to enter directly on the sales as a sales lead, the ones that get the sales team. Also, they say that we have a service level agreement, SLA. I know that Caterpillar work with these things very, very hard. Massive companies doesn't work with them so much, but this type of service business-to-business companies do, and basically it's a standardized type of service of what the customer should expect, exactly what we should do. And again, this is important. Let's say that you're attracting sales lead in with a content strategy on a web page. Make sense? And the way that you do that, and the lead's gonna fill by a form that they have to fill, whatever. But the way that you're attracting them is to say with content strategy, but basically you have 2 or 3 promotional videos about your brand. The thing about Salesforce, the CRM system, you go there and they have a lot of promotional videos and educational videos where you can see what the software actually do. Make sense? So let's say that you see 3 or 4 videos, you become interested, and you ask for information. Then you become a sales lead, the salesperson that called you. Let's say that the salesperson that called you, and the way he explained the sales service is a completely different way than what you saw in the video. What's going to happen? Let me think about it. You are unsold. Make sense? Not even because it's worse or best, it's because you already set your mind in what you want. So if there's not a line, what is our service promise between the sales team and what we're doing in the marketing effort, again, the sales gonna fall. And the salesperson gonna think that it was a bad lead, not that it was the message. Makes sense? So of course that's gonna have to be aligned. Set up closed loop reporting between the two teams always. Rely on data to see where you have to change the type of leads or again the type of message, and always maintain an open communication between both teams. Is necessary to sales and marketing being one department? If I will have to do a complete company from ground zero, I will say I will prefer them together, but I wouldn't invest in putting together in a company that is already there. They can work together without being in one. Make sense? As long as you have this, as long as you have a common goal and understanding of what are the different functions, and understanding the why, some of the things that marketing is going to do are not immediate sales. That's something that for sales is hard. So why these guys are spending in this if we need to make the quarter? Well, because somebody have to be looking at 2 or 3 years in the brand development. Make sense? And finally, we finish with this. So we talk a little bit about sales, we talk about how to align them, and the last promise that they did in terms of sales, what we were going to talk is, well, what about the sales structures? You're going to find different sales structures. This is actually something that you may see in sales management. I used to teach sales management years ago, and I did take this literally from what I used to teach there. So what we say is that you have four type of structures for sales, possible structure for sales team. Now, when we say four types, most of the time you're gonna have a combination of those four types. Don't just be so literal in terms of just one of the four. So it could be any type of combination between them, but this is the best way to understand it, I think. To understand the four combination, first we need to understand the axis that we have here, and we have two variables that are going to be important. The first one is how complex is the range of products that you have. Anybody can tell me what that means? Examples.
Like how many parts it has, or like how easy it is to use? Is that what you mean by how complex a product is?
No, the range of products.
Oh, the
That's
range
the
of
question.
products.
Breadth of,
Yeah.
like product breadth.
Yeah.
Apple offers computers and phones.
Apple have a complex product range, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As I said, for computers, cell phones, but everything is around technology. For example, one of the things that I was talking with the Warren Cap marketing VP a few months ago already, I think last year, was they were kind of not pissed off. I don't know if they still have it. Caterpillar just got a new kind of ATV, buggy vehicle, doesn't it?
I've seen it.
You have seen it? Yeah. It's kind of, how do you say, I don't know how to describe that in English, to be honest. It's not a boogie, it's kind of a,
Yeah, it's really good. Like a side by side, a UTV.
yeah, it's kind of a UTV, I think. But the main thing is that it's for regular consumers. Caterpillar is not used to sell it. They don't sell those kind of things, they sell machines to companies. So it was a huge problem in terms of both things, range of product, but also in terms of range of customers. And that's the other point, is what is your range, the way I have it here is, are your customer needs similar or different? But the best way to understand this is, again, what type of customer you are selling to. And the problem for Caterpillar distributors with this add-on is that they already have a structure, and now they have to rethink a structure for this product. Why? Again, as we were saying, one thing is the different products that you have. So if you have just one single type of product that you're selling, let's say that you're selling just this pen, bread. It's the only thing that you sell. And let's say that you're selling to just one type of customer that have just one type of need. I don't know who you can sell this, universities. That's universities, okay? How are you gonna divide your sell teams? One person cannot sell to everybody, so always you have to break down your sell team. How do you divide your sell team? Yes?
So like an example would be Apple, like someone could sell this specific, like they could sell computers or Macs, and then the other person could sell the phones and what updated phones are.
That's what I'm saying. In this case, just for this. In that case, that they have different products, you're right, they will divide it by products. Here, as I have just one product, one client, I will not be able to divide it by product. Also, I'm not going to be divided by clients or markets, so I'm going to divide it just by geography. And that's where you have seen when you apply to jobs that you have a territory manager. You have seen that, doesn't it? Sales territory manager, and that means that you're going to be engaged in this territory. That's it. Because they have one type of product. Now, as I say, you can mix these things in different ways, but that's one thing. Now, as Tim was saying, if you're a company like Apple, not only more complex, but just that have different range of products, but you're selling just to one type of customer. Apple is not. Apple's selling to many, but just to the sake of example. Again, just to universities. You're Apple and you have the same range of product Apple, but you just sell to universities. Well, that again is easy. What you do is to break down your teams by product. So you're going to have, and you have seen this, product managers or brand managers. It's a slightly different, again, depending on how you work with your product/brand strategy. Make sense? So the sales manager, instead of saying territory manager, in this case, I'm going to say product manager for computers, product manager for phones, product manager for whatever. Make sense? Now again, I'm saying that that's the formula of Apple because they are more complex than that. No, it's just a fictional company that have the same range of products, but just sell to universities. Backward. Let's say again that they sell this pen, but to everybody. So I have consumer to consumer people. I have universities. I have government. All of them have different needs in the way that they buy. Well, I'm going to have account managers instead of product managers. Does that make sense? So my differentiation is going to be focused on the needs of the different targets. I'm going to have account manager for government, an account manager for companies, mid-side companies, account manager for big-side companies, I have account manager for retail sales, etc. Now again, these are extreme. Most of the time you're going to have a combination of them, but it's just to understand. Now again, why this is important for MC? Because your strategy, all your strategy is going to be kind of based on this also. And let's say again that I'm Apple, but now I have sold everything to everybody. So I'm going to have a mix between account manager and a lot of distributor of the Finning, that is the distributor of Caterpillar in Chile. I remember they did it this way. They did have mining. Sorry, no, they had just market. It was mining manager, construction manager, etc. But this is computer for government, cell phone for mass consumption, and you divide it by both of them. Make sense? And again, gonna be mixed a little bit depending on what you are, but I think this is kind of an important information to have. Okay, this time it was fast. So this is all that I had for today for you. Now, in the minutes that we have, the idea is for you, if you want to work in the project, I'll give you this time. For the ones that have work, also if you have everything done, you can leave. But if not, if you have any doubts, ask me now. I'm gonna try to have this from here on every day, and some days just to work on this. So that's it. You can start working on the project, or you can leave, whatever you prefer. Just don't ask me the last day what you have to do.
Do we need to do anything? Or should we text and just see when everyone needs to meet so we can